Okay, if you're trying to drop body fat and you're trying to get like jacked, but you've been struggling for a while, you haven't really been noticing any changes. Trust me, like I have been there. So I'm going to share my 5 rules to strip body fat, and that finally helped me see some like visible abs for the first time, and that are going to help you do the same. Okay, so first of all, I want to start with a story, if you'll let me. So when I was 200 pounds, I used to watch all of those men's health videos. It would be like, eat like so-and-so, like train like so-and-so, right? They're still up there now, I think. It would always be like Chris Hemsworth, like getting ready for the Avengers or something. I tried his workouts and I would try his diet for months. But somehow I gained weight, and it wasn't muscle. It was just pure fat. So when Chris Hemsworth's diet didn't work, guess what I did? I was like, oh, I'll just go and try Jamie Foxx's. And I would be in this stage where I would hip hop from diet to diet, from training routine to training routine. Within a year at this point, I dropped a grand total of 2 pounds. I can lose that in 2 weeks now. And I realized that I wasted so much time and I wasted so much energy and effort until I learned rule number 1. And that's finding what works for you. Although that was a very turbulent time during my training and my weight loss era, if you will, it was also very vital because I kind of learned what worked for me, what didn't, what types of food and what types of training worked for me. Now, granted, I spent a lot of time just copying, okay? And I got no results. But also understand that there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from other places. But what's vital to remember here is if you're doing something for an extended period of time and it doesn't seem to be working, then just change it. Don't keep going with it because you're going to end up getting the same result, which if this is you right now, then it's no progress. Now, the second rule that helped me see my abs for the very first time was not killing myself with cardio. I was like everybody else. I thought the key to stripping body fat was doing hours upon hours of cardio. But now I know that that is just not the case because I did more and more and more cardio and it ended up just doing more harm than good because I did lose weight. And you're probably thinking, oh, like you lost weight. What's wrong with that? But guess what? I lost weight, I lost fat, and I lost muscle and I ended up becoming skinny fat and still no abs. So it was completely worthless. Now, from somebody who was literally ruined and wrecked themselves from doing too much cardio, you need to be doing steady state cardio if you want to burn fat. Now, if you love some form of high intensity cardio like circuit training or like sprints or something, and you genuinely love it and it gets you results, I'm not going to tell you to change. Keep doing it if you enjoy it. But if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you're not that person. I remember being overweight and being fat and doing high intensity cardio, and it is horrible. I know you're not doing it. You're running up and down. Your belly's like flying up and down in the air. People are looking at you. You make people uncomfortable. Like every movement, every step that you take, 5 people die. It is so embarrassing. So granted, you're probably not doing any kind of high intensity cardio anyway, right? So for the love of the Lord, just stick to steady state cardio. I don't care whether that's just walking. If you decide to incline walk, if you do the Stairmaster, just pick something that is low intensity. I often wonder how many people I sent to therapy when I was doing high intensity cardio because it looked awful. It looked terrible. Anybody who's watching this who saw me a few years back at my gym, I'm sorry. Not so sorry that I'm going to cover the therapy payments, but you know, I'm sorry. Okay, now kind of bringing it back now. The next one is going to be taking weekly progress pictures. Now, I know and I understand that it's hard. Nobody wants to, like take a picture of themselves when they're looking their absolute worst. Nobody understands that more than me. But trust me, once you strip the body fat, you get jacked, you want the body that you want, which you will get if you follow my advice. Having those progress pictures are going to be so valuable. Number 1, you can see how far that you've come. And number 2, which I think is actually the most underrated use of your progress pictures, is that even to this day, I use them at times where I feel like I'm going to cave in on my diet or make a bad choice. I get up my phone, right? I'll see if I can get up now for you. And what I do is, right, every time I feel like I'm going to make a bad choice or I'm going to do something that's going to like hinder my progress or anything like that, I always just go into my hidden folders, like section in my phone, and I just look at a picture of myself from when I was overweight. And it's a constant reminder, like this one, I use it all the time in the videos, of where I come from and why I need to make the right choices every day to make sure that I don't go back to that. Because looking at that picture of me being overweight, it instills so much fear and so much anxiety. And I know there's like somebody out there that's going to say, oh, like that's unhealthy for your mental health. Like I get it, whatever, I can cope with it, it's fine. It really helps me stay on track because I made a promise to myself that no matter what happens in my life, I will never, ever go back to looking like any of these pictures. If I do, then I feel like I have failed as a human being and as a man. Like I have just completely failed. Rule number 4, which is an absolute most, is training to failure. Okay, let's face it. A lot of you train like pussies, okay? I did when I was starting out. I go to the gym to this day and I still look at the way that people train. And like, I'm not judging them. I don't know what they're training for, but I'm like, yeah, like you could probably be training harder. Now, by training to failure, okay, I mean, you need to have nothing left in the tank. Some of you may be saying, how do you know what failure is? Maybe you've never seen it. Maybe you don't know. I'm going to describe it to you right here, okay? Say if I'm doing like bicep curls or something, right? Say if I'm doing bicep curls, training, a lot of people, right? They go like 1, like 2, 3, 4, and they're like, like it kind of hurts. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go home. Like, I'll squeeze out a couple partials, and then they drop the weight. That's honestly like how the majority of people train in the gym. When I say failure, I mean I'm going all the way to the max. This failure when you're pulling faces, like you're making noises. Obviously, like don't be a dick. Don't be running around like, want to be like, don't be one of those people. But like, for me, failure, right? This is like objective failure, okay? When you are at, say, like the bottom of the movement, and no matter what you do, you just cannot just get that weight up without you like severely breaking good form and you leaning all the way back, or without somebody having to come and support you and lift that weight up for you. That is at the point where you're failure, where nothing you can do. You know that you're moving your arm, but the weight itself, it just isn't budging and it just isn't moving. For whatever reason, if you still don't understand or get that explanation, let me show you. Now, the most important rule that you need to follow is having a complete zero tolerance for junk. Now, what you may think I mean by that is by cutting out junk completely. And believe it or not, I'm not actually saying that. What I'm saying is that I have a golden rule where I will never, under any circumstances, willingly make the choice to bring junk into the house. I will never do that. The only time that I will have any kind of junk is if like I'm out somewhere, or you know, it's just like one little like chocolate bar or something and it fits into my calories, or like if I'm with a friend and they buy me something. Even then, right, I just like break it in half and like, oh, like you can have it, or like we just share it, we just snap it in half and we just share it, and I usually take like the smaller piece. But never willingly bring it into the house, because by willingly bringing it into the house, you're willingly choosing to make it harder. You know, and I know, right, that you're not going to have the kind of discipline and the like, how do you call it, like the self-control to have that locked away in the cupboard and just say, no, I'm not going to have it today, I'm not going to have it today, I'm not going to have it today. Like at most, the people that are like probably this far into the video, like the top, like, I don't know, like top like 5% of people who are actually going to lose the weight, me included, you're likely going to put that off for like a week. But after that week, every single day, every single hour, every single minute, every single second of every day, you get closer and closer to snapping. And guess what happens? You end up snapping and you eat the chocolate bar, and then you go on this whole other binge and start eating loads of stuff that you weren't meant to eat in the first place. Be honest, does willingly bringing junk into the house, does it really make that much sense given the context around the situation that you're trying to burn body fat? In my opinion, not really. And it shouldn't make sense to you either, especially if you're this far into the video. Now remember, if you are serious about making lasting change and you're entirely fed up with the body that you currently have, click the link. It's like fucking golden. It's phenomenal. I really wish I had it when I started. So definitely go and check that out. And also remember that your discipline will give you freedom, and that weakness is regret. I'll see you in the next one.